what is some of the best advice you feel like he's given you in your career?
Oh, gosh. I remember wrecking him at Darlington. We were racing for the Lucky Dog. I was in the 43, and it was an honest mistake. Just trying to blend back in and ended up clipping him. And, I called him after, and one of the hardest things you have to do in life is tuck your tail sometimes and admit that you're wrong. And even when you know 100% you're wrong, it's still a nerve-wracking thing. So I had to call him. He was like, hey, I've been there, I've done that. He's like, you got to process things slower and try to bring the big picture in and focus a little bit more on that. And, racing stage by stage, like having a reset moment. And a caution comes out, you have a reset. And that's definitely helped out a lot.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
The last one for you, when I think about the month of May, everyone thinks about the Indianapolis 500 and Kyle Larson. Do you pay attention to what's going on in May, first off? And secondly, what's your thoughts on what he's trying to accomplish?
I definitely pay attention. It's cool to see. I have a buddy, Scott McLaughlin, that I pay attention to as well. And so you can have some skin in the game, you feel like, and you want to see how Larson's doing because that stuff is wild. And I think there's no better person that could represent our sport right now in that way, doing the double than him. So it's cool to watch.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Is there any way Scott could talk you into going to run it one year?
I texted him last week that where were they at last week? The road course, right? Yeah. That their races looked easy. His race looked easy, but I was obviously kidding. And so we've never talked about. He knows my road course expertise. It's not that good, so. And I damn sure ain't getting one on an oval, so I'm good where I'm at.
This is the third year of the All-Star Race experiment here at North Wilkesboro. Do you think it still fits the facility well to be an exhibition race, or do you think it's deserving of a points race?
I don't know, because the only races that we've had have been half fields. The Open's half field, the main event's half field, so we'll see.
One more for me. I just blanked on it. Yep.
The tires that you're bringing from Martinsville.
Yeah.
There's already a visible change in the surface from it coming and being laid brand new.
Yeah.
What are you expecting, or what are you hoping to see, or what ideally would you like to see?
To continue to wear out. The old surface was a lot of fun, slipping and sliding. It had its own built-in PJ1. That sealer, we were putting our right sides right there on that. If you missed it, you were slow. And so that really, put it in the driver's hands to make sure we got the best lap time that we could. So just continuing to age, getting a tire to where we have to manage more horsepower.
Came back to me. It's been an ongoing conversation about how to make the short track product better for the Cup Series. Do you feel like making no changes this weekend is a missed opportunity?
You can't just throw something at it with, no data behind it. So I get that it takes time. While we want it to happen for the next immediate short track race, I'm sure it's a work in progress, but we just haven't seen anything yet. So it just makes us work even harder with our engineers and our mechanics to get the most badass setup that we can to capitalize on the opportunity.
So to be 12th and 13th in points and feeling like we're as bad, or not bad, we're just not even close to our full potential. And even just the stage point thing, right? Literally to only have 17 stage points, I think it is, and be where we're at in points, I think it says that we're getting the finishes. We just need to get the stage points with it, and it'd be a whole other story.
How close do you feel to winning, Joe Gibbs?
Yeah, I feel like there's been a couple races this year I could have won. It just goes back to Saturday. Like, I got to qualify better. I put myself in such a hole that it takes me until the end of the race to kind of get up there, and it's so hard to win when you're coming from behind, especially when you have guys like the 20 and the 5 and the 11 starting up front, and then you got to catch them and pass them. It's way easier if you can just start in front of them and try to hold them off. So I got to do a way better job on Saturdays, and if we do that, I definitely feel like our car speed is there. It's just a matter of like I said, executing on my end.
With us not doing the run what you brung package or the option tire or some sort of like gimmick rule, right? What is the identity of the All-Star Race? What should it be? Do you have ideas for what this event should be if we're not doing something interesting?
Yeah, that's a great question, Matt. I don't know. I was actually thinking about this yesterday. I feel like this is a race where, say we don't do run what you brung, right? I think we need to do something, like as far as take the tapered spacer off, like just take the whole underbody off, like do something where it's this drastic change to just see what happens. If it's terrible, it's terrible. If it's phenomenal, then great, we have something to learn from. We've done it with the tires, I feel like, here, but we've not done anything with the car. And obviously we've seen where lately they've said they're not against taking the tapered spacer off, so let's do it. Like, let's do that, or let's take the entire underbody off. Just something rules-wise that is kind of out in left field compared to what we do everywhere else, and just try it. Like, this is the ultimate place to do it, right? So, yeah, I don't know what the identity really is outside of it's the All-Star race and you race for $1 million. I definitely would like to see something just to help the short track racing a little bit. Yeah, we'll see. I guess what we learned this weekend.
On the back of
does a driver need to be to win the All-Star race, and how aggressive would you be to win $1 million?
Yeah, I think you got to, if you're good, you don't have to be aggressive. You can just start up front and run away with it. Joey, I don't think was very aggressive at all last year. He was just really good and up front. So, yeah, this is definitely a race where you can kind of beat and bang on a guy, and I guess it's maybe a little more acceptable just because of the circumstances. But, yeah, everybody's kind of got their own thing they're comfortable with doing. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to say I'm willing to do one thing or not willing to do one thing, and then it comes down to it on Sunday, and it's totally different. So I don't know. Until you're in that situation, I don't know if you really know what you're willing to do.
NASCAR's been back in North Wilkesboro. Does it still feel cool and special coming to this place for you, and what do you hope the future of the track looks like?
Yeah, I feel like I'm a tough person to ask because this is kind of the only North Wilkesboro that I know. For me, it's obviously cool. It definitely has that short track racing feel that I feel like you might kind of get at Martinsville. I say kind of because Martinsville is so unique anyway. So this reminds me of going to Hickory or something like that, whereas most of our short tracks don't have that, where this is kind of tucked away in the middle of nowhere. If there weren't lights on in the middle of the night, it'd be pitch black outside here. So I think there's a cool factor to that our core fan base definitely appreciates.
On the back of Scotty's question, you're big on the history of the sport. So being here at North Wilkesboro, do you like it as the All-Star race, or would you prefer it be a points race again?
Yeah, I think the only thing that really in my mind keeps it from being a points race or not being able to be a points race is just is the facility capable of doing that, and those are all questions that I don't have the answers to. What separates this from NASCAR's standpoint as far as the ability to do all that and promote it and have all the same activation that our fans and sponsors are used to having on a large scale. But otherwise, I see no reason why you can't. They did however many years ago, and the sports, for the most part, the goals are all still the same. It's run a bunch of laps and crown a winner.
This is the first time in a couple of years you've come into this weekend and not had to worry about the Open. So is that a relieving feeling?
Yeah, it's, I guess, good. It's one less step or thing to worry about, or the ability to know what you're doing on Sundays is nice. But other than that, just got here to run.
There's been a lot of talk about what we can do to make the racing better with the product on Sunday and the race car itself. Do you feel like not making any changes this weekend for an exhibition race is kind of a missed opportunity?
It certainly can be. I think there are a lot of challenges, as I'm sure people smarter, more influential, and more educated than I am about why it's a good thing to try this weekend and why it's not a good thing to try this weekend. If we want to go testing, we should go testing. The way I see it, we're racing this weekend, so I got $1 million to go win for me and my team, and if we want to test, we should test.
This is Custom Patch Hats. But what makes us custom? Well, that actually begins with you. We're just bringing your unique vision to life. No knockoffs, no lookalikes. Your design is one of a kind. We know hats, we know design, and we know quality. The proof? It's in our production. Hand stitched with precision and care, with brands you know and trust. A one-of-a-kind patch deserves a one-of-a-kind treatment, all the way to your doorstep. It's how we keep it custom.
Steven Stump of Frontstretch.com here. Come back for more great racing videos, and if you like us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.